So I'm going to, like I said, the whole entire thing about, and AD was in Amy's live stream last night, and like I said, when YouTubers put demon in their headings of their channel, or their, not channel, but their videos, they to me it's just kind of, they make a little bit light of it, and they're being fake, so to speak. But demon stuff is real, and I'm going to get into some of my own dreams and some of these dreams that I have found online here. And let me get the camera set here, and I want to pop over and read. um, like I said, there's 22 of them, but I want to only I'll skim through some, and I won't read the whole thing, but I'll read some of the stuff it's in it. But this person wrote, and they got like usernames, so they don't have their real names up. So anyway, this person put up, it says, when I was 8, I had a reoccurring dream over a period of months. I was awake 72 hours because I was too afraid to sleep. The dream was in our basement with my sister, so I don't know how many she had, two, three, but there was at least two. They were getting something to drink. Suddenly, my sister's faces turned and started to get weird. Their mouths and nose were really small, and pretty much 90% of their faces was just their eyes. As I started to run upstairs, a creature grabbed me by my neck and pulls me up the steps. The face was like a normal one, but it had skin, another type of skin above it. And it started screaming like a demon, and I just couldn't go back to sleep. And it said, but when her mother came in to wake her up, she had been screaming for 3 hours before she got woke up. Said, "I hate my basement." And so there's one instance of that going on, and and there's more, but uh, let me scroll down. But again, it was somebody had such a bad dream because of a demon attack or a nightmare attack, but she was being attacked in her dream. It wasn't like dreaming of things and just seeing things. This poor person was attacked in their dreams. So those are the kind of things I've had, even long, like I said, before I started doing paranormal. So that way I can't say, well, I've done paranormal, it's because of paranormal. It's long before paranormal. Um, oh, thank you, Patty. Thank you for showing up. We appreciate it. So I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat as I do this as well. But but that is one thing that well, one story we'll get into. So I've had some of my own. I've had that happen before too. Um, I've seen what I think is the Antichrist 3 times in a dream. Um, Also, that wasn't an attack, but it was just the dream. I saw him, and not couldn't see his face. I don't know who he is, but you could tell that's who he was as he was trying to put himself up on the stage and take over the world. So that, but now as far as being attacked and hurt during my dreams, um, that has happened. And I was this is before paranormal. I had an instance where I got choked, and I was getting choked in my dream. In my dream, and I don't really know exactly what it was. It was a person, and he was a real evil looking. And when I woke up, I didn't have any lines or anything on my neck, but you could still feel the soreness. So, and so there was that one, and also I've talked about this one in the past as well. I had a dream that I was in a garage, and a person was in this. It was like a mechanic garage or a car garage or whatever. A guy came out and was starting to stab me in the chest with a needle nose pliers. And when I woke up, the it was about right here, roughly. And when I woke up, I was still feeling that hurt in there. It was just it was real. It was real. Things were happening. So it these things can happen, and so that's why I don't like to see certain paranormal channels kind of making light of saying things are demons or demons attacks, because there's a lot of times I've gone on and watched their videos. I'm like, nothing really happened. It was a noise, or maybe they heard a sound that was sounded like a scream or something, so they said it was demonic or whatever. So there's that, and but it their channels never show anything. And I think a lot of people, if they actually were attacked by demons while doing investigations, they probably would never go back and do them again. Um, okay, Eddie, thank you. Bud, how are you? Seeing you sneak in here. Um, so let me go to the next one, and we'll read the next one. Excuse me. All right. It said one is five. When this person was 5 years old, in the dream, they were in their house drawing on chalk on their deck. Um, let's see. Her mom came out of the house screaming. And remember, these are dreams. Her mom came out of the house screaming and yelling, telling us at us for drawing on the deck. But it got weird because the lady wasn't Gracie's mom. She was something evil, and I could tell it. It says she was transforming into something dark and ugly in front of our eyes, and you couldn't see her face anymore. And so it goes on to say that fast forward to second grade, I go to school one day and Gracie isn't there. My teacher told the class that she had drowned while riding her tricycle by the pool. Um, and she goes on to say, back in that dream that she had, though, um, that the evil thing threw her and her friend off a cliff in that. So that's just kind of an overview of that dream that I didn't. That's a big paragraph, so I kind of just paraphrased it. But anyway, it seemed to be the fact that you know apparently an attack and being thrown off a cliff. I mean that I'm trying to imagine this in my head, having a dream where something takes you and throws you off of a cliff or off of a mountain or whatever. And that I can't hardly fathom that. But oh, by the way, comment, guys, if you've had any of these type of dreams, and any time in your life, just comment, let me know, and we'll get into that discussion. But so let me go on to the next one, and we'll talk about that real quick. But anyway, the next one's kind of a shorter, uh, not as long, so we'll get into this one pretty easily. It said when I was quite young, I had a very specific fever nightmare where I had been lying flat somewhere in the darkness. A clock was ticking continually, getting louder and louder until it became overwhelming. All of a sudden, it would stop, and there would be a very soft laughter in my ear. I'd wake up and instantly, and I would think I was fine until the ticking started again. So apparently, the what I'm reading of this, it didn't really go into much detail of it, um, but when they woke up, they still heard the ticking that was going on, and that's kind of like I was saying about my dreams. I could still feel the whatever that was going on. With me, whether it be the choking or that needle nose plier going into my chest. Um, Dreams of graveyards. Well, yeah, I mean, it's you know, I'd have had dreams of graveyards too, but nothing that ever, like you said there, sis, nothing has ever hurt me in those things. But man, those dreams that I had that where I was getting hurt, that was weird. The one with the needle nose pliers one, I had been doing paranormal for a bit, but the choking one was long before I started doing paranormal. So yeah, your dreams are not that crazy. I'm glad. I'd rather hear people not having these type of dreams, but these things can happen. It's really scary. But let's go on to another one. Let me just kind of skip through, and we'll try to find some that are not very long, so we're not reading forever. Um, here's one that was. Now again, I don't know who's writing these. They have a username that they put into, but it's called. By the way, it's called Ranker. If you want to read these, Ranker. Matter of fact, let me first do this. I will copy and paste it in the chat, and y'all can go check out these that I'm reading. Again, like a lot of them, I'm just going to be, paraphrasing or going through and just putting or talking just a little bit about things, kind of shortening things up. But this one's not very long. It says the title on this one was my brother was viciously stabbed. It says I often have dreams that involve going on crime sprees with different family members. One night I dreamed I was out with my brother robbing a place and getting chased by the police. At one point, we were in a store. A policeman stabbed my brother through the bottom of his mouth and into his brain. Golly, with a giant knife. It was so realistic, so detailed. He goes on to say, my brother died in 2011, and this was the only dream I've had since then where I've seen his face. So wow, that's pretty wild. Um, I've never had. That's weird. That detail of a stabbing. I mean, it sounds gross, but it. I bet that would be realistic, and that would be scary for sure. I mean, I don't know what I would do with a dream like that. I probably wouldn't sleep for a while. So again, if y'all are joining us, coming in later, whatever, and you had any paranormal nightmares, haunted nightmares, let me know. Comment. We will definitely discuss those. Another one we'll get into. Let's see. Let me go find another one that's not very long. This one's pretty weird. It said I was going to drown in my own blood. Um, it says the worst one that I can remember as far as nightmares is when I was doped up, and I'm not really sure what this is, but anyway, in some place on in some place on some kind of medication or something. Anyway, he didn't go into detail, but I was in a glass box in the middle of a mall with rivets all over my skin and blood pouring out of them. The box was filling up, and as I was going to drown in my own blood, and the only thing people did was stop and giggle and wave and carry on. I That one's weird. Um, that's good, Patricia. I'm glad you hadn't because you don't really want to deal with that. It's not something that anybody needs to deal with, but it does happen, unfortunately. Um, let's see, what's the next one? Oh, it's really long. We'll skip that one. There's a lot of, if you go to that, that link I put in there, there's some there, it's very, very long, very, very detailed, very, it would take us a while to get through. So I'm just skimming through and trying to find things that are not very long to read. This one says, let's see, some friends and I were uh, caving and swimming, or in a cave pool swimming, when I heard a blood curdling scream and a help me from somewhere across the cave. I walked towards the noise and found a goat with a demented human face, and it would just kept screaming, "Help me!" in this pain-stricken voice. I can't help begin or to describe it. Then I woke up. That's freaky. That's disgusting. I don't. I wouldn't want to dream like that. Oh Lord. Next one is let's see. Gargoyle hanging from a ceiling fan. See what this one's about. In an instance of sleep paralysis, I woke up in the middle of the night with a cold sweat and looked up to see a gargoyle like demon hanging from my fan. It had blood red eyes, and I could see its fleshly wings. It was just hanging there staring at me, and I was panicking and unable to move. So I'm kind of believing he was probably not in a full wake, he wasn't completely awake, but that would be freaky to wake up and see a gargoyle staring at you. Yeah, yeah, you said that before, sis. I tell you, I wish you could see them a little bit better though. Um, let's see. It looks like I need to go to the next page. Is that what it's trying to do? There he goes. Um, okay, okay. The next page is just talking about. Yeah, the next page is just talking about the reason for certain dreams and stuff. So, um, let me see if I can find one. I mean, it gives you like the reason why you're having certain dreams. Um, let's see. Here's one that says if you dream about being in a natural disaster, whether it's a tornado or an all out apocalypse, you find yourself in the middle of a horrific catastrophe. It says the meaning of that dream would be while you may be tempted to warn the neighborhood about the end of the world after dreaming a natural disaster like that. Yeah, that would be something I would think about, I guess. Don't be so quick. Chances are you're dreaming about a more challenging or more something that's more specific to you. A tornado can represent a big life change that has been taken away from your security. An earthquake can represent bad news or financial troubles. Volcano can represent anger. So the next page, when you do get the next page, you can read about why people have certain dreams. Hey, Pittsburgh, how y'all? Um, but um, again, like I was saying a while ago, um, I don't take the demon stuff like lightly at all. I don't take paranormal lightly at all. But I just think it's kind of foolish to put things in your videos that are not true, and 90% 90 we'll say 98% of the time when people put it in their YouTube channel they had a demon, uh they're lying.